starts with the act of love. Tens of millions of spermatozoa rush ahead on a hunting trip that may eventually lead to a fateful encounter and a promise of new life. Only one can win. The rest will end their lives in a matter of days. In the marathon race to life, there are no consolation prizes. Only one winner will merge with the ovum. The sperm move forward by wiggling their tails through the dangerous obstacle track, the acidity in the vagina, the cervix and the uterus. The obstacles claim many lives. The slow and weak give up. Others go off track, lose direction, or get trapped. The road separates into two fallopian tubes, but there is an ovum waiting in only one of them. Not only stamina and talent count, this journey also requires a lot of luck. Strong currents prevent the sperm from continuing forward. The follicles on the uterine wall capture many and hold them back. Finally, at the end of the tunnel, like a mysterious star, the ovum. The sperm attack is merciless. A sperm cell carries a mysterious load. Each can create a unique human being unlike any other in the world. Now, there are only about 100 sperm left competing for the ovum, but only one will make it through the ovum's protective layer. In their final efforts, one suddenly manages to penetrate. It is the winner. After the ovum is pierced, it hardens and becomes impermeable. For the rest of the sperm, the journey has ended in failure. For the winner, it is the beginning. It sheds its now unnecessary tail and load and is free. The father's genetic material merges with the mother's. A new and unique cell is created, the fertilized ovum. At this moment, almost all of the future baby's features are determined and fetal development begins. The embryo becomes established in its new place. First, it settles into the mucous membrane of the uterus, and then the placenta is formed. The placenta is the organ connecting the fetus to the uterine lining. Its function is to supply food and oxygen to the fetus while removing waste materials. A disc forms in the center of the embryo. The embryo is 14 days old and still the size of the head of a pin. The disc thickens. It is centered between two pockets of fluid and ready to begin building the body systems. The nervous system comes first. A deep groove forms along the back. It folds inwards to create a tube that will later become the spinal cord. The two large balls will eventually become the brain hemispheres. The heart and blood vessels begin to form the foundation of the vascular system. As it develops, the embryo goes through all the evolutionary stages. First, it is like a fish, then like a reptile. It will take weeks before it assumes human form. Within 20 days, the embryo has developed from one cell into a sophisticated system with perfectly synchronized cells. This tiny organism is its own genius architect.
Within a week of conception, your fertilized egg, known as a blastocyst, will make its way to your uterus. The egg is about the size of a pen tip. In days, the cells in the egg arrange themselves into groupings. The inner cell mass will become your baby. The outer cells will become the amniotic sac and placenta. The blastocyst then sheds its protective casing in a process called hatching and burrows into the lush uterine wall. Around week 5, your developing baby is the size of a sesame seed. The cells that once formed the blastocyst's inner cell mass begin organizing and arranging, giving shape to the young embryo and forming primitive organs. Your baby's brain and spinal cord are visible through his translucent skin. Right around this time, your baby's circulatory system also forms, and his heart begins to beat. Your baby looks more like a tiny tadpole than a human. He's drawing nutrients and oxygen through the newly formed placenta and umbilical cord. By week 9, the embryonic tail is gone. Your baby's looking more human every day. Protruding limbs and fingers, a defined nose, mouth, and eyes, and tiny earlobes. Your new resident is about the size of a grape and weighs a fraction of an ounce. It's hard to believe how rapidly one cell evolves in such a short time into the unmistakable body of a baby.